Hi, Psych. It's Mr. Schwam. So I'm just letting you know that today we're going to do Module 63. We only have one more left in intelligence. So this is Friday's work. And I had a lot to do today, so I never got a chance to go over your tests, but I hope to get them back by Friday for you. So anyways, today we're talking about Module 63. The title of this is Genetic and Environmental Influences. And so some key parts in this are just kind of good to know. If this showed up on an essay, it would be interesting. And I can tell you the parts that would show up on an essay are heritability. So heritability is the percent of the differences among a group are related to genes. So your heritability of intelligence is about 50 to 80%. It's kind of ranges anywhere. It's very genetic. I don't know if that's surprising to you guys, but if you have smart parents, chances are you have a really high chance of being smart. And if you're a twin and your identical twin is brilliant, you're probably going to be brilliant too. So the genetics of intelligence is really, really highly correlated. So they've done a bunch of adoption and twin studies, and so my three kids, all adopted, the chances of them being similar to Janine and I gets lower and lower the older they get. When they're young, their IQs definitely come closer to matching the adoptive parents, but as they get older, those differences start really taking hold, and as they get much older, they become more alike their parents, their biological parents, versus their adoptive parents. So once again, I keep kind of stressing this, but a lot of these things are kind of genetic, and there's not a whole lot you can do other than be really supportive and offer your kids as many different opportunities as possible. But you can't really hold their feet to the fire in terms of IQ points. There's not a whole lot of study saying like that you're going to have a huge impact on that. So the adoption and twin studies, the adoption says you're going to be more similar to your biological parents the older you get than you will your adoptive parents. So that is that I've seen that on the AP before. And then the twin studies, if you have an identical twin, you have a very, very good chance of having similar IQs versus some random person picked throughout the world. So the twin studies say genetics is a huge, huge, huge issue. Now, the environmental cues, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a teacher, but the environmental things that you can do to increase your intelligence is, unsurprisingly, have well-trained teachers. And teachers do, two things. They if they're high performing, they bridge the gap between what you don't know and what you know, and they lay it out for you. Remember talking about scaffolding with Lev Vygotsky? The better that's scaffolding and zone of proximal development. That's the part where good teachers are able to sort of bridge the gap, whatever that zone of proximal development is, meaning like you have this area in which you don't understand and you have to get to the new understanding. So I take the old understanding, layer it so that you can get to the new understanding, and the better the teacher is, the more they play by that rule of scaffolding, like giving you new information, and then when they want to teach you something else, they just kind of ratchet it up slowly and get your understanding to a new level. So good teachers matter. Also, food. So there are certain foods that are certainly better for your brain than other foods. So probably not so much sugary snacks and stuff, but more healthy foods. I think we're all familiar with those. And then there have been studies that have been done for this thing called Project Head Start, which would take poorer children and give them a preschool education similar to someone who's not poor, and it was designed to kind of bridge the gap between the poor and the wealthy for IQ, because on average wealthy people have a higher IQ than poor people, and unfortunately it didn't give IQ benefits, but on the good side, it did produce a lot of good habits, and it gave kids a lot of grit, like forcing yourself to, as a little child, to develop some good study habits, gave you a chance of overcoming some obstacles and giving you a little bit of self-efficacy, which is what Angela Duckworth studied. So her book was called Grit. And this is another piece that goes along this mindset, is Carol Dweck. If you feel like this is regardless if your intelligence can increase or not, depending on your kind of inner state. So if you believe that you can't get smarter, that would be considered a fixed mindset. And if you say to yourself, I'm going to do everything I can to be, as smart as I can, that would be considered the growth mindset. So she wrote a book, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called just Mindset, but it was talking about fixed versus growth mindset. And the Wheatley teachers actually read that book. And I still have not read this one, but I'd like to. So I think Miss D'Angelo read that one, and she said it was really good. So this is a really short chapter, not too heavy duty, not short module. So anyways, that's your work for the weekend. All right. Hey guys, have a great weekend. Miss you guys, and I'll speak to you guys soon.